Alright guys, what's up and welcome to the channel. If you are here for the first time, on today's episode what we're going to do is we're going to explore a 6-unit building and also a 12-unit building. So stay tuned. I mean, look at this downtown Fremont district, man. You believe Tony Hsieh bought all this down here, man? $350 million. I think it was $200 million was all allocated towards buying all this land. It's crazy, huh? And you know, back in the day, Fremont Street right here, this road right here, used to be one of the main roads. This was literally like the strip back in the day. But if you keep going down, this actually connects down to Boulder Highway. It turns right into Boulder Highway, takes you down to Boulder City. You got Peter Pan Siegel Suites. If you guys don't know who Siegel Suites is, basically big time investor, worth hundreds of millions. What he does, his sector is, he buys these homes and he does like weeklies on these apartments. And they're like all over across the valley, as you can see. And you can kind of identify it because it's like the yellow buildings, you know what I'm saying? They'll do weeklies and it comes with like cable, internet. Some places you'll get like coupons like for food and stuff like that. And take a look at this hotel right here. Look, you can actually buy this and do an add value. Look at this. Alright, I'm going to share a quick story with you. So that bus stop right there, I remember when I first got out here, and it was like during like December, and it was cold as hell. And I remember I had to go to work, and it was probably like my second job, and I've only been here for probably like a month, and I was working at a Walmart as a tire lube express, right? And I remember sitting at that bus stop, and I remember how cold it was, and I told myself, I can't wait to get a car. And the day that I get a car, I'm gonna appreciate that car. Because you know, like when you catch a bus, you gotta like get up 2 hours earlier just to catch the bus. And when you want to come home, it takes you 2 hours to get home. I remember that day, man. So every time I drive through this bus stop, I always look at that. And that always reminds me of that. So I just wanted to share that with you. Yeah. I'm gonna work hard. I'm gonna get my first car. It's 20 years ago, man. I remember that right here, dude. These homes here were homes, but it was converted into office use. But as you start heading down more south on Eastern, it's more new commercial buildings. So a lot of these homes in this area is going to be built in the early 60s here. Now this is like the sweet spot as far as like investors and stuff. Basically, if you can get a good deal out here, do the rehab, you can definitely crush it. So here it is. Here's the 6-unit building. So some of you guys know from the beginning of this channel that I created, you guys know I wanted to buy an apartment building, and I've been looking on LoopNet. If you guys don't know what LoopNet is, it's actually a commercial website that you can go to look at apartment buildings and stuff like that. Now, this property right here, this is a 6-unit building that I've been watching for some time. And according to like LoopNet, the square footage on here is 4,408 square feet. And according to the information from the agent on this description here, the gross rental income is $49,020. Now the gross, and what the gross means is basically if all the units are all rented out, right, at its maximum capacity for 12 months, it spits out $49,020, okay? Now there's a effective gross income, and what that effective gross income is, it's minus the 10% of vacancy. So that's kind of a rule of thumb when it comes to like commercial buildings and stuff like that. And this one is about $48,750, so that's the balance. But then now you have like taxes and operating expenses, and which gives you the net operating income. And that's like one of the most important things, is the net operating income. So with all the expenses, right, if you paid cash, this one right here makes $38,177 a year. But it's important that you do all your homework and check if that's what you are actually making. So one of the things that you're going to do is you're going to take a look at the 2 years of the tax returns of the property, right? Take a look at the taxes, take a look at all the leases and all the deposits, so that way you can actually calculate to see if this is actually true. But what has piqued my interest on here, the agent is stating that this is a 6.9% cap rate. So let's just say 7. But the asking price on here, so on this unit, we know it spits out $38,000 a year. So to figure out what we should submit our offer at, you need to figure out what type of returns you're looking for. So for me, I'm looking for a 10% return. So what you're gonna do is take $38,000 divided by a 10% return. So that means I would have to offer $380,000 based upon the numbers, right, of the $38,000 that the agent is telling you. So what we're going to do is let's go by and let's take a look at this building, and we're going to head back to the office and we're going to submit an offer at $380,000. We're going to see what they say. So a couple things that I take a look at is, number one, the building. If we take a look at this building here, as you can see, it's made out of concrete, right? So one thing that I don't like about buildings that are made out of concrete, it gets so hot out here or it gets so cold, just to bring the temperature down or bring it up, there's really no insulation, right? You just have the concrete, unless there is insulation inside. But that's something that you would have to take a look at. And the reason why this is important is because the location that we are in, come on, let's go. So the location that we are in, right, it's more of a lower income. So if it's a lower income level, right, a lot of people are not gonna wanna spend that much money on utilities, right? It's not gonna be worth it to them. They're gonna end up moving somewhere else. So that's where we have to take a look at the utility costs. A couple things I also take a look at is the windows, how old the unit is. This tells me that some of these windows have been changed out from like vinyl windows, from the old school dual pane windows, because that's also going to be a factor on the AC unit and all the bills and stuff like that. So it looks like on the outside, we definitely would have to do some paint, some sanding, okay? The eaves are still in good condition. Now coming down here, this tells me that there's gas on these units, which is great. And by looking at this building, you could tell it's been painted a few times. And watch for the doggy doo-doo. And one thing I would probably do here is probably fence this off, so that way people are not walking their dogs here and not picking up the crap. So as you can see, we got 4, then we have 2 here. Tells you that it's 6 units. So in this one, it looks like there's a storage and also a laundry room. Believe it or not, with the laundry room, right, that also spits out income too as well. So that would be a compensating factor. And you can tell right here, there's been a lot of birds hanging up, perching up on these lights. And that's the reason why they have those little spikes there too as well. Now this road right here looks like just a common area. As far as parking, I believe you have a total of 6 stalls. One of the first things I would do is actually resurface all this as well. So that way it just looks nice and appealing. Now, right down here, the same owner has a 12-unit building that I'm also interested in. I believe they are asking like $1.3 million for the 12-unit building. But the reason why I like the 6 better is because there's 5 units that have 2 bedrooms, right? On this 12-unit building, majority of them are all 1-unit buildings. You're gonna get more with the 2. And it's always best to try to find an apartment building that has 2 bedrooms, right? And 2 bathrooms. And also, if you can get it where you have the washer and dryer inside the unit, that's even better, because you can rent that out for more. Again, you look at that, man, you can see the birds perching up on here. Now, as you can see right here, a lot of people would probably be discouraged on like the condition of this, but this thing actually has potential. And I notice about like with apartment buildings or even homes, when you rehab a home and you keep it clean and you do it the right way, people tend to keep their stuff clean. What do you think about this area, Rudy?
It can do some
Yeah. All right, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna go back to the office and we're gonna write up an offer. And I know the offer is a little bit low, but this is what you need to understand. The more offers that you actually write, the better it is, the better chances of you getting the offer accepted. What up, man? All right, so before I submit this offer, there's a couple things that I want to go over with you guys. So for this purchase agreement, we are offering $380,000, and the name of the entity that I have on here, and this is something I want to share with you guys, especially when it comes to multifamily, you never want to put it under your name, then try to transfer it on over to a different entity, because it's going to cost you more money. Okay, so it's always best to already have your entity already set up. So if you guys don't have a good attorney, right, a asset protection attorney, I have a link in the description below with Gary Felds. So on this one, we're going to be submitting an offer again at $380,000. My earnest money deposit is going to be a total of $10,000. The total asking price is $380,000 because I submitted an earnest money deposit of $10,000. The remaining balance on here is going to be $370,000 coming to the table. Now that does not include the total closing costs. Also, when you're writing offers this low, at this point it's always best to pay for everything, all the expenses for the seller. So that way they know exactly what they are walking away with, $380,000. We are not doing an appraisal to this property. We are buying the property as is, where it is. The title company I'm going to use is with Fidelity National Title, Melissa Moses. The reason why I always use the same title company is because they have all my properties under one umbrella. So that way, if I ever sell my portfolio, it's just a lot easier when it's maintained through one title company. So that's the title company I use, Fidelity National Title, Melissa Moses. I will have the contact information in the link in the description below too as well. The close of escrow date, basically when I do a close of escrow date, I do 35 days or sooner of a fully executed contract. The reason why I put this verbiage in is because if I do a set date of, let's just say, December 20th, but here we are December 7th, but the seller doesn't get back to me until like December 10th, now I lose 10 days. So that's the reason why I put that verbiage in here. The due diligence period for something like this, I always do about 12 days. That should give me enough time to inspect the property. Okay. Now, as far as for all the fees, as far as energy audit, termite inspections, the roof inspections, mechanical inspections, I don't do those type inspections. The only inspections that I do is a regular home inspection to the property, but the home inspector that I do hire, they specialize in multifamily. This is where they check the foundation, the roof, AC, plumbing, and make sure to check all the units, every single unit. Now, the home inspection is going to cost you typically about almost 40 cents per square foot. It just depends how many units and also the square footage, okay? Now, title and escrow fees, transfer tax, I'm going to be paying all that. Owner title policies, I'm going to be paying for that too as well. Like I said, I don't want the seller to pay for anything. I'm going to pay for everything, especially because I'm submitting a low ball offer. What else on here? Now, one of the things that you have to disclose if you are a licensed real estate agent submitting an offer on somebody else's property, you must disclose that you are an active licensee. And that's what I'm doing here. Okay. In addition to that, because I'm a licensed real estate agent, right? Typically you can make 3%, 2%, whatever it is. I also put on my contract that the seller doesn't have to pay me a commission because I'm already lowballing the offer at this point. Okay. Also, one of the conditions that I'm asking, and I always put this verbiage, contingent upon the seller providing all lease agreements to the buyer for review. This allows me to out of the deal and get my earnest money deposit back. Because here's the thing, one of the things that you want to take a look at is all the lease agreements, because you don't want to close on this deal. Next thing you know, they signed a lease agreement between landlord and tenant where it was $1,200 on the deposit. Everybody moves out. Now you got to cough up $1,200. Reason why I put this verbiage in here too as well, because if it's a $500 deposit, when I go to close this deal, I want to make sure those deposits will also get transferred to me as well, okay? Now I understand that this is such a lowball offer, but you also have to understand I'm in the business of making money, and that's the way that you need to be looking at this. Look at your situation as an investor and look at the type of returns that you want. For this case, I want a 10% return. Other than that, I won't even touch this deal unless I'm making a 10%. So it really comes down to you and what you are looking for. Also, you have to understand this is a numbers game. The more offers that you submit, right, the chances of you getting your offer accepted or even to start the process of negotiating a deal, this is the only way to do it. If you guys find this information very valuable and would like to see more videos like this, go ahead and click that subscribe button, click that notification button, and also give me a thumbs up too as well, because that helps the algorithm. Also, don't forget to go to my Instagram account. We're trying to grow the Instagram. This is where you're going to get updated information if you want to follow me on a daily basis. Other than that, until next time, have a blessed day, guys. Peace.